So I thought I'd make a rambly video about this particular issue because well, after watching the video in question that I will put a link in the video description below this for you guys to check out if you haven't already, this was very enlightening for me in terms of what's going on in the minds of Lizard Squad because I'm not before this I wasn't really that phased by them. It was just like, oh, you're one of those hacker groups that do things and occasionally mess things up for people, and then you go, ha ha, we did it because we had fun, ha ha ha, it can't get us. And you're like, oh, that's a minor inconvenience, or depending on how they've dealt with you, or how they've managed to interrupt your daily routine or nightly routine in whatever manner they've chosen to do so, might be quite serious. I don't know. Either way, nah, you just think, okay, it's one of those things. If it happens, we'll deal with it. But yes, after watching this video clip, well, I say video clip, it's more of an audio video of Rich of ReviewTechUSA actually speaking to Lizard Squad via a mediator, of course. I can't remember the name of the mediator. He's in the video. As soon as you click the link and go and see the video, the mediator will introduce himself. I was quite amazed by it, actually. Mostly because of how civil it was for the most part. There was a few low blows exchanged between the two of them, this being Lizard Squad and Rich from ReviewTechUSA. There was a few low blows, mostly from Lizard Squad, I noted, but nobody got emotional, nobody got shouty at one another. It was very, very, very calm and civil, I thought. So I thought, well, that was unexpected because as soon as I saw the video title, I thought, "Oh, really? Is he actually speaking to Lizard Squad? Nah, he must be just talking to someone else and debating about it." But no, he actually did speak to them, or at least speak to some of them. I don't know how big Lizard Squad really are, but that's not the point. He spoke to some of them that are part of it. And it was very interesting, I thought. So I think before you even listen to me ramble onwards, I think most of you don't really want to anyway, because you know how much I do ramble and repeat myself and yada yada yada. I would go and check out the video first, if you haven't already, and then come back to my ramblingness. So then we could get a sort of a clearer picture of what I'm talking about. But if you just want to carry on listening, or you've already watched the video, then of course listen on again if you want to. And Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the whole thing really because it was very strange how that was set up. I have no idea how they set that up. Maybe the mediator did it alone. Maybe Lizard Squad wanted to contact Rich directly and did it through the mediator. Perhaps the mediator was contacted by Lizard Squad and they sorted something out. Who knows? I really don't know. But either way, it was quite an amazing little setup. I mean, okay, maybe it isn't. It depends on what perspective you're looking at. But I just thought the scenario between the two of them actually, exchanging words was very interesting. I just didn't think it was going to happen. Because if you don't know, I like to listen to and follow Review Tech USA. It's a channel run by a guy called Rich, and he comments on tech, basically, what's going on in the tech world. It could be to do with tech itself, it could be to do with companies involved with tech, or tech being their main product, so to speak. Or it could be about incidents involving tech that could be to do with the public, just weird things you hear about with relation to technology. Mostly gaming, but occasionally he does other tech stuff as well. And I like following him because he's very calm in his delivery. As in, like, yes, he can get emotional, but he's generally very controlled when he does it. He doesn't sort of fly off the handle or anything that often. He's very logical. He's got a great voice, and I like listening to his arguments. He really thinks them out, and he comes across as someone who does think things out really well. And I like listening to people like that. I'm not saying that I won't listen to someone who doesn't think their things through. I mean, come on, Neo Rambler, me, hello, do I think my things out? No. But that I like listening to people who do because I wish one day to do that myself, or I'd like to be able to do that myself. But I know that it's probably not going to happen. Not necessarily forever won't, or like 100% certainty not going to happen, but unlikely. But I like listening to people who know what they're talking about and appear very passionate about it, and are putting their full weight behind whatever it is they're saying, in terms of their opinion, their emotions, etc., etc. And that's why I like following Rich. And he has been making some videos recently and in the past on Lizard Squad and their antics on the interwebs, or anything to do with computers that they can, get access to. I've no idea how they do it. It's the world of hacking. All I know is, and I'm probably wrong on this as well, but all I know about hacking is it's very tedious. Nothing like in the movies where they wear all the fancy gadgets or they're at the computer going, "Oh my god, hacking's so intense! Dun, 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 I must get this right. 100% concentration. Must type things on the keyboard. Dun, I've done it!" Or using some fancy glove device, or like I said, some fancy clothed gadgety device. Dun, 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 I'll just press this and swizz this around, and then dun, 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 bam! I've destroyed the world with nuclear weapons. Oh, I'm a genius. It's not like that. Apparently, it's very, very, very tedious, and it requires crunching through a hell of a lot of code, mostly reading it and then looking for the areas that you can put your code into, or reading the code and then somehow getting access to it and rearranging it in a way where you've got control over it, or you're changing something on it. I don't know. Either way, I know it's a very hard and very laborious task. Or if it's not hard, for hackers who are very experienced with it and very adept, as Lizard Squad have proven to be, I guess it's quite easy. It just takes a bit of time, that's all. But they can compensate for that by saying, well, we're a group of people and we all do the same thing, or we can all work on hacks at with more people per hack, to shorten the time type thing. Like group work, teamwork, that kind of thing. Time management, time efficiency, blah 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 blah. Everybody does it to some extent. And yeah, what I was most intrigued about throughout that video was Lizard Squad themselves, as one would be, because of what they've been up to and what they're capable of, and how they've been gaining attention from the technology world, so to speak, and even outside of that as well a little bit. I mean, I'm from the UK, so I did note them in the news. They appeared in the BBC News a couple of times for their antics on shutting down like Xbox servers and PlayStation servers, the servers that give you PlayStation Network and Xbox Live and all that, and then after they shut it down, they were like leaving messages going, "Yes, we're going to keep doing it because we love it," yeah, that kind of thing, and not necessarily that brashly, but it does. I'm being a bit exaggerative on that one, but it just came across as that way. We're doing it because we can and we love it. Yeah, screw you all. And in a way, in the video, they sort of came across that way as well, but a little bit more well spoken. They weren't. That's what I found interesting about them. They weren't. They weren't sort of like in your face, like little kiddie like things. They knew what they were talking about, and they appeared quite. No, we know what we're doing, and we know what we're capable of, and we know that at this moment in time, we believe to be untouchable, and we know that there's nothing you can do when we do what we do, because that's who we are, and that's the position we're in. We're enjoying every minute of it, and but they, even though there was a bit of attitude involved and a little bit of I don't know what the correct word is for it. I'm very tired, by the way. Again, I'm high on energy drinks at the moment, trying to stay awake till Friday, and then I can actually go to bed and get some sleep if I survive it. But anyway, that's going off the point. They did appear a little bit patronising. That's the word at times. But then again, like I said, I suppose they could do because of the position they're in. So, I mean, I can understand them doing it. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but, you can understand it. But apart from that, yeah, they seem quite well spoken and just almost grounded in what they were doing. And also, I and I have to be honest, it was kind of strange listening to it all, because I just thought, wow, okay, so you're not the little twerps that people have been personifying you as in the media, or on comment section going, "Oh, what a bunch of brats! Oh, what a bunch of young, stupid teenager boys," and other horrible derogatory terms that I can't really say because of trying to maintain professionalism. But no, they appeared to, from their voices, they appear to be. I'm hazarding a guess here, and I'm probably not right, but I'm going to give it a guess. Either in their very late teens, so 18, 19 years old, to definitely early 20s. I can't imagine them being any older than 25. If they are, fair play, but that's just what I'm going through their voices. So yeah, quite young, I imagine. But again, could be wrong. But well spoken for the most part, and yeah, their arguments were not the most logical, but thought out. They were thought out. And Rich was very good as well, I thought. He like I said, he's been making a few videos about them, and he really doesn't like Lizard Squad, and that's putting it politely. And the latest video he did on them, when they recently came back, or they've recently gained some publicity again, they did something, I forgot what they did. I think it was another Xbox shutdown or something like that, I can't remember. That's the only problem with you, Lizard Squad. So far, you haven't done anything that I can remember. I'm not saying that you can't, and I'm sure, if you accidentally hear this or you stumble across this and you think, oh, well, there's this guy here saying, oh, we haven't done anything worthwhile. Well, we'll sort that out. I'm not saying that you couldn't. No, I'm just saying, just as of now, I can't remember half the stuff you do. But I'm an idiot, so there you go. I'll give you that. You know, Rich is very passionately against them, and he believes that his government, because he's from the United States of America, and I believe Lizard Squad are based in America somewhere. I don't know. It might be that they're like anonymous, you know, where they're based all around the world, and somehow I have no idea how communications with computers work. I don't know. But you know, Rich was he's basically believes that the US government are fully capable of tracking anybody and everyone in their country and probably around the world as well. Not necessarily everyone in the world, but you know, a good chunk of people. Tracking them on the internet, following them in what they do, collecting data on them to the point that they could practically get anyone they want if they really wanted to. You know, all they have to do is just find whatever data they've downloaded, and they can pretty much find out exactly where you've been on the internet, and then just go and get you. And probably with other means beyond that as well. I'm not saying they solely rely on that, but it's definitely a major tool in their arsenal of keeping an eye on citizens' weaponry based thing. Anyway, read 1984, by the way. It's a terrible book. As in, it's depressing. It's a good book, but I honestly believe it's the future. Anyway, that's a tangent again. But he believes that, and I do too with my government. Again, I'm in the UK. I believe my government can do it. Not legitimately, though. But they're going to change that soon because we've recently had our general election and the Conservatives won, and they're going to push through the Snoopers Charter, and then it'll all be legal, so we can't challenge it. And it's all for our protection. It's all for the fact that we've got to protect the UK from extremism, like a Lizard Squad. We've got to protect ourselves from them. Oh God, they're so extreme and horrible at terrorists. Protect, and other people from the Arab world and all that. I say Arab world, Middle East. Sorry, that might have been offensive. I apologise. Middle East. There you go. That's better. All those extremist people. Yes, protect. Even though it's my own personal opinion that they're all artificially created, these extremists and terrorists. Not saying that they don't really exist. They do, but I believe they're funded by other people that belong to governments of other countries around the world, not necessarily excluding ours. In other words, I do believe ours has got a foot in it, or a hand in it, or whatever the proverbial is for it, and the US government as well. In other words, that they're there to give us an enemy, to make us paranoid, so that the governments can push through whatever ridiculous policies to keep an eye on us. You know, and all for the greater good, all for your protection, but not really. But anyway, another tangent. Um, yeah, Rich believes that the US government can get whoever they want, and I agree too with the US and the UK. But Lizard Squad retorted and said, no, they can't because they haven't got us yet. And even though I believe actually there was a story in the BBC News a while back that actually said that they caught a few members of Lizard Squad, or at least they believed they had. You know, they believe they didn't caught and interrogated members of Lizard Squad. I think that's as far as they got. I didn't hear anything else after that. Maybe they put someone away or took them to court and prosecuted them. I can't remember if they succeeded or not. If they did, obviously they only got one or two people from Lizard Squad. Whether they were from Lizard Squad or not, I don't know. Again, that's up to Lizard Squad to decide whether they were or not. But that's what I remember on that. And yes, I fully believe that Lizard Squad will be found. However, Lizard Squad, again, as I mentioned, said no, they won't. They won't be found. They're untouchable. They're unreachable. There's nothing you can do about it. They can do whatever they want, and they're going to do whatever they want, and they're going to have fun doing it. And fair enough. You know, if you believe you've got that power and you've made that statement, you're more than welcome to make it and more than welcome to believe it. Because I, like Rich, defend the freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, and freedom to do what you want. And I really do. Whatever you choose to do, good, bad, evil, jerky, charitable, generous, whatever your or whatever floats your boat, yeah, by all means go and do it. I mean, Jesus Christ, we only live one life. You shouldn't be bound strictly by all social laws because they don't really exist. They're all, well, they do exist, but they're not concrete, unlike, say, the laws of physics, where they're quite hard to break or hard to bend unless you're in very, very specific situations. But even then, maybe the laws don't apply in that situation, something else does instead. You know, the laws of society are not concrete. They are however you perceive them. They are subjective, and as a result of that, my only concrete social rule I like to follow, as does Rich, and I'm sure Lizard Squad do to some extent, is to allow everyone to do what they want and have freedom of expression and speech. However, Lizard Squad did go a bit the other way by saying, well, and this is what they were doing to Rich. You see, the reason why they had this debate was because Rich, again, has been making these videos occasionally about, well, I hate Lizard Squad and they should go down. They're absolute idiots, as in they're clever, but they're idiots for doing what they do. They should be doing it for good, and they're just wasting everybody's time. And I don't understand them. They're illogical. They're irrational. Blah 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 blah. They should be hunted down. They should be prosecuted by the law, and they should be taken to courts and go to prison and all that MacGuffin. The only reason why Rich believes that their government haven't done that is because the government don't care, because Lizard Squad have primarily been in the gaming world, so they haven't done anything else outside of it. Although they did say in this video they have done, and I'm sure they have beyond what they said as well. So I'm not, again, Lizard Squad, if you're listening, I'm not saying that you haven't done things outside of the gaming world, so not at all. But that's all I know you of at the moment. I mean, by all means, I'm sure you've got something cooking that'll then go, oh, gaming world, well, you can do better than that. Oh, let's see, planes, yeah, we can take planes down. Oh, a boat with nuclear weapons on it. Oh, we'll have that, yeah. I would probably do the same as well, actually, thinking about it. I like nuclear weapons, but anyway, that's beside the point. I wouldn't fire them at people, but it would be nice to have a fleet of nuclear weapons. I think anybody would. If you had the opportunity to hack a fleet of nuclear weapons and have it floating around in the ocean, yeah, you would, wouldn't you? And just think, yep, that's mine. Yep, thank you very much. Yeah, you never know, might come in handy one day. Wink, wink. I don't know. But yeah, he's made these videos and all that, and Lizard Squad have retaliated. Basically, they said, well, we didn't really know you actually until very recently when you made your recent video, and this is what they were saying to Rich during this debate. And when we found out, we thought, my God, what a fat, balding, sad man who makes videos on the internet. Let's wreck his day. And they did, in a way, because Rich was going to go to an event. I think it was Too Many Games in America. I believe that's what the event was, or one of these events that you can go to. Richard was invited by Too Many Games to go and be represented there. And Rich accepted because he said, yeah, cool, sounds awesome. But Lizard Squad stepped in and they posed a threat. I don't know if it was directly to Richard or whether it was to Too Many Games. I think it was to Too Many Games. Correct me if I'm wrong. Listen to the video. That's in the video description below. You'll get all the true information there. But I believe Lizard Squad's, after they saw Richard's videos, they contacted Too Many Games and said, look, if you let this guy in, we're going to do some nasty things. We're going to mess you up. And Too Many Games decided that the threat was credible and decided to contact Richard and say, you're not welcome anymore because of this threat that's come up, and we believe it to be credible. We hope you understand. Which is horrible. I think that's bad, primarily because you're restricting freedom of speech. That's all. Like I said, I believe in it. Rich believes in it. And even Rich said in the video as well, to Lizard Squad, he said, look, I don't respect what you do. I hate what you're doing. But I don't hate you, and I won't say that you can't do it. I won't stop you from doing it if I had the power to, because I believe in the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression. Fair enough. I agree with Richard as well. But yes, they contacted Richard and said, no, you can't go to this event. The threat is too credible. So Richard was annoyed and upset, quite rightly so. And when he asked Lizard Squad, look, why did you do that? What was your beef? They said, well, we found these videos that you made about us. We didn't like it, so we just thought we'd ruin your day. And they also commented that he's fat and balding and sad and some other horrible derogatories as well. And when Rich said, okay, well, like I said, I understand if people want to do that to me or create websites where they mock me or make fun of me, then yeah, I'm quite happy for them to do it. Again, freedom of expression and all that. But, don't you think you were going a bit too far? To which Lizard Squad said, no, we don't. No, not at all. Because we believe what we did was right. And not even that. We just did it because we thought it was fun. And, we can do it with no repercussions. They stressed that a few times. And that was their main argument, really, was Lizard Squad. They would say, look, we can do these things because we cannot be touched. We've got no repercussions. We've got nothing. So, if you're in a position where repercussions don't affect you, you would probably do anything you wanted to do. Most likely. Not 100%, as Lizard Squad were trying to make out, because they were using a lot of definitive statistics. They were saying, oh, we're 100% untouchable, and we're 100% allowed to do this, and we're 100% correct in what we're doing, and all that MacGuffin. And you've got a 0% chance of getting us, and you're 0, and all that MacGuffin. And very extreme percentage arguments there. because I mean, I've got a physics degree and I dabbled in quantum mechanics, so I know that nothing's 100%. It's just not possible. 99.999999999%, yes, of course, to the point where you could pretty much call it 100% because the difference between the 99.9999999 and the 100 is negligible. And if you're very fortunate to get 99.9% recurring, so that goes on forever, it is 100% because the difference is 0.0 recurring, which is 0, effectively. So, yeah. But anyway, that's another argument. Uh, and Rich was like, well, why don't you do it for good? He actually turned to Lizard Squad and said, look, you know what? After speaking to you and hearing you out, you guys are not stupid. You're very smart. You know what you're doing. I'm impressed with that. Why don't you do what you do for good? Why don't you take down corrupt governments, corrupt corporations, help people out with it? Why are you instead choosing to do these nasty things instead? Valid question. To which Lizard Squad responded, well, because they're not fun. This is fun. And then they made the point of saying, well, yeah, how much, Richard, you make money from your YouTube channel. You've got 300 and something odd thousand subscribers. How much money do you make from your channel? Was it 5 grand a year? Quite patronising, quite putty downy. I don't know what Richard's salary is, by the way, and Richard didn't say, and quite rightly so. Maybe it is, don't know. But Lizard Squad said, oh, well, we make that in a day. 5 grand a day we do. We make money from what we do. And that was interesting when they said that. I thought, oh, you're being paid to do this. Okay, not 100% surprising, but 5 grand a day as well. Wow, that's pretty good money. What's that? 7 times 5, 35 grand a week. 4 weeks roughly in a month. 140 grand a month. Just over million, about million, just under $1,700,000, about $1,680,000 a year. Roughly. I mean, I'm sure they probably earn, it varies per day how much they earn. 5 grand's probably an average. But they said, yeah, we get paid to do what we do. So not only are we having fun with it, because we like doing it, it is fun to us, all these nasty things, but we're being paid. So I thought, well, Rich didn't ask them, and maybe he thought it probably wouldn't be a wise idea to ask, and I can agree with that. But I would have asked in Rich's shoes. I would have said, oh, well, if you're being paid, may I ask who's paying you? I mean, by all means, don't give me any specific names or details or anything. I'm not asking for that because that's not what I respect privacy of the individual payments, and that can lead into all kinds of trouble. There's loads of confidentiality there. Cool. But more in terms of what parties pay you, as in where do your primary clients, so to speak, where do they come from? Are they public figures? Are they private figures? Private groups? Private corporations? Public groups? Public corporations? Government? Who's paying you? Because yeah, well, if you're going to get paid for what you do, not only that, you're going to enjoy it, well, you're going to do it, aren't you? But they didn't respond to that because that question was never asked. So I would have been interested in that. And I think they probably would have let slip a few parties. Maybe out of bravado, maybe they would have lied through it, but I reckon they would have done. Not mentioned anyone specific because that would be stupid, and they're not stupid, and I wouldn't have done the same thing either, and neither would I have asked for it. So if you'd have said that or mentioned specific names, I'd have gone, well, I didn't ask for that. That's on your head. But at least say, oh, roughly, public, private, corporations, groups, that kind of thing. I'd have probed them, and I think they would have said something or let something slip. The other thing that intrigued me about them was that one of them, and maybe a couple more as well, but I think one of them was, again, you'll have to listen to the video carefully. When Rich said, oh, yeah, well, you could get caught by the government and blah, 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 and even though you claim that you're untouchable, I still believe you will do in the end. You'll make a slip up or they'll find you anyway. And Richard was saying, the reason why I don't think they have yet is not so much they can't, it's just they can't be bothered, but they can do it at a moment's notice. A couple of them mentioned, oh, well, we're in the military. I'm in the military. I do this part-time. And he didn't say any more than that. Again, I would have said, oh, okay. Well, again, not 100% surprising, but a little taken aback. Oh, fair enough. What rank are you? What regiment are you? What affiliate are you? Are you a private, technician, engineer, medic? What rank? Private, corporal? Again, none of those questions were asked, but I would have asked them and probed them. They probably wouldn't have answered and probably would have said, well, we don't have to tell you that, and now because of that, we're going to hack you to death. Yeah. I suppose you can't take that risk, but I would have asked. And I think, again, with a bit of prodding, they would have let something slip. Not necessarily saying, oh, I'm an engineer or a radar, but they probably would have let slip in terms of rank. And again, I would have hazarded a guess and thought, well, because I believe them to be in their late teens to early 20s, they won't be any higher than corporal, whatever they do in the military, or whatever this one or two dudes do in the military. Because if they were sergeant or more, then you've got great responsibilities there. You've got great responsibilities anyway in the military. I mean, Jesus, you're doing a job that's defending your country from threats. That's a big enough responsibility enough. But I believe going up to sort of upper corporal and sergeant, when you're then in charge of groups of men doing the same thing as you, and not only that, you're also having to make sure that you're defending your country and all that. You've got increased responsibility. I don't think you'd be doing this part time. You wouldn't have the time. So unless you really didn't care and you were just a sergeant or higher than that, and you just had time and got other people to do your job for you, delegate. In which case, fair enough. But yeah, I wouldn't have thought any higher than private or corporal at the very highest. But I think again with prodding that they would have said, and I was wondering as well. I thought, oh, you say military, and they said it quite proudly, and again, rightly so. If you're serving in the military, you would be proud of it. At least I hope you will. But I was wondering if he said that as a means of saying, oh, well, we won't get caught with the government. We're in the military. We've got cover. If you're working for the military, the government's not going to look there, are they? Why would they look inside their own men? It would be embarrassing. I'm sure they do. They do internal investigations, of course, but they keep it, below media radar, shall we say. So if anything is uncovered, it's sorted as quickly as possible and without anybody finding out. Otherwise, that would be embarrassing. But I don't think all of them are. I think most of them are. I don't know. I'm sure they've got jobs, perhaps, or part-time jobs in some way or manner. But yeah, it was interesting when he said military, and I couldn't help but just think: are you only in the military for cover, or is it because you are in some sort of engineering part of the military or some sort of IT part where you've learned a lot of skills? Because obviously, taking a military job, you learn a hell of a lot of skills. It's very intense. I mean, I don't know what they learn because I've never done it myself, but I do know they learn a lot of skills depending on what you go into. Be a soldier or medic or engineer or IT, and there's loads of other roles as well. I can't remember them all. You will learn a lot of skills and probably a few classified ones as well, depending again on what you're doing. Maybe he's done that, and he's just thinking, all right, I want to make some money from it. Again, any young man would do the same thing, make money from what they've done or can do in terms of skills. It would be silly not to. But yeah, but I don't know. I mean, after watching the argument, I was expecting it to be heated and quite bitter and childish, really, overall from both sides, really, due to emotion. Blizzard Squad winding up Richard, and they were trying to wind him up. It was quite obvious they were trying to do that, but Rich did well to not get wound up by it. He was very calm, and he noted that if they were, he'd retreat or ignore it or go to the next question from the mediator. The mediator played a good part in it as well. He asked questions and controlled the argument really well, by the way. So I'm not ignoring the mediator. I just can't remember his name, but he played a good part in it. Again, watch the video. His name is in there. But overall, yeah, I just thought my impressions of Lizard Squad were interesting. I thought, okay, well, when there's all this media comments going on about, oh, they're snotty teenagers, oh, they're going to get caught, oh, they're children who know no better, they're evil, twerps and all that MacGuffin. I thought they were young. I definitely believed they were young because they boast a lot. Which, again, nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to be smart, you've got to be selective with your boasting. Because yes, okay, if you're just after notoriety or attention. Purely attention. I don't think Lizard Squad are. I think they want attention, but I think they are being paid, like they said. So I think they like the attention, but I do believe that they know when to stop and go under radar for a bit, which they did do actually. Although that was at the time where some of them were being caught, supposedly. Whether they did or not, again, I don't know. But yeah, they came across. Yeah, I just found it extreme. I found the whole thing fascinating. It's only a 15-minute long video, way shorter than what I'm doing now. But I found the whole thing fascinating, and I thought overall, I think the only thing that I could say is when they said they couldn't be touched. And I think that rubbed me the wrong way a bit. And maybe they were saying that just to wind you up, because if somebody says, "Oh, I'm invincible, I can't be touched," anybody in the vicinity will be like, "Oh yeah, want to bet?" They'd immediately not believe you, even if you're right. They immediately wouldn't believe you. Because no one is invincible. We don't live forever. We will die eventually. Unless there is something going on in the background, like government-wise. There's some government conspiracy to say, oh no, we do have immortality. We just don't share it with you. For obvious reasons. Then, okay, fair enough. You have to let me know, Lizard Squad. There's a lot of things I want to know, actually. I might ask you some questions at the end, see if you can answer them for me. I'll be interested. Because if you've got the power, then, all right, I'll ask questions then. I'm not going to pay you, obviously, because I haven't got any cash, but, you're smart people. Surely an intellectual challenge is reward enough to break. No, probably not. Not for you. But anyway, whatever. Um, the I think when they were saying they were untouchable, yes, it would rub people the wrong way. And again, they know that, and I'm sure that they do as part of their wind-up tactic. But I do believe they can be touched, but not in a physical way, as in, oh, we can't forcibly find you and remove you, or forcibly? No, physically, sorry. Physically move you, or physically touch you, or physically find you, or physically trace you yet. But at the moment, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But you can be touched emotionally. And how do I know that? Well, you've been responding to a lot of negative videos about yourselves, not just from Rich, but from other people as well, mostly higher up people, but still. And every time you saw these videos bashing you, you had to react. You had to do something. Whether it's just for fun, whether it's just to get back at them, whether it's a combination of both, whether it's just for the hell of it, you had to react. Because you had to. For whatever reason, you had to react. And that tells me you can be touched in a emotional way. As in, we can touch your nerves. When somebody touches a nerve, the figure of speech, when you just think, oh, you've said something that's really just drove me up to anger levels 10 and above, or whatever. Yeah, you can be touched, guys, and I think your nerves can be touched, and I think that's what you've got to be careful of. I'm sure you're careful enough, but I think a friendly reminder isn't a bad thing. If you're going to do what you do and continue to do what you do, fine. But if you're going to claim to be smart and claim to be untouchable, make sure you're untouchable in all sense of the word. If you are, fair enough. But that didn't come across to me that way. I fear that you can be touched emotionally in terms of nerves. Not emotionally as in abused emotionally or anything like that. But yeah, your nerves can be touched. And I think given the right group of individuals, given the right style of questioning, maybe, if you give them an opportunity to do so, or if you don't give them an opportunity to do so, again, you're sending out those signals. I think you can be touched on the mental side, and I think you need to up your guard up a bit. I'm not going to say how, because the only way I would suggest, and advice I can give you, is to maintain what you do in terms of activity. Have your quiet periods, have your active periods, have your quiet periods, but just be a little careful about your active periods. That's all. I don't know why I'm giving you advice. I don't know, and of course you won't listen to it, but I suppose out of respect, really, for your capabilities, then yeah, do that. But then again, I'm an idiot with no cash, no money, nearly dead because of the way that he manages his time, and with the current thing he's trying to do to earn money to get a job, he's killing himself out of exhaustion anyway. So even if you did hear this and go, oh, whoa, this guy's upset us, we must strike us down, it's really no point. I'm on my way out anyway, I'm dying. You might as well take comfort in that and go, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, wow, he's doing it for us. Oh, this is brilliant. There you go. See, I've given you a freebie there. But I do agree with Rich, though, and this is why I'm going to bring this to a close. I do agree with Rich, though, that you really should rethink what you're doing a little bit. Yes, by all means, have your fun. You're entitled to have it and do what you've got to do. And if you've got no moral compass or a little one or whatever on your actions because you believe you can't be touched and therefore have no repercussions, and that actually raises 2 points with me. From you saying that, that tells me that either you truly believe that, but you're also independent, in which case I do believe you will be caught eventually, or you're protected and you're working for someone or a group of people. Now, you mentioned earlier as well you were paid. I mentioned it as well. Again, I must stress, who's paying you? I'd be interested. I'm sure you'd say. You seem quite bravado. You seem like you would because you've got no repercussions. So why not tell us? That's the other thing as well. You might as well be more open, Lizard Squad, about what you're doing and who's paying you because you can't be touched, right? So why be flippant with the truth? Why not reveal yourselves? You can't be touched, right? Well, go with it. If you're being a little defensive or a little secretive about your, I won't go as far as to say your identities, but at least your payments and where you are roughly and more about your careers maybe, you should be okay with telling us all that then. If you're untouchable, that is. Because you're untouchable. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be secretive because it doesn't matter. You're untouchable. Or are you only untouchable because you have to be so secretive? Oh, I sense weakness. But, or not necessarily direct weakness, but a chink in the armour, let's say. But anyway, I'm not going to taunt you on that one. That's up to you. I was just saying, just. But you've probably thought about it and have your answers, in which case, fair enough. But I'm just saying, I wasn't convinced by that, but still, I'm sure I can be convinced in other ways. But yes, my closing comments is yes. Why don't you try taking down corrupt governments or corrupt organisations for fun? Why not just do it for fun? Surely it would be more fun to go, well, we love messing up innocent people's days, especially these sad people on the internet. Oh God, it's so much fun ruining these tiny individual people with no real significant impact on the world. Yes, that is what we'll spend our skills and our strengths and our, abilities to take over anything computer-wise and do what we want. Yeah, let's take it out on the little guys because that makes sense instead of doing the better thing and taking down bigger people, because I'm not going to lie, that would be funny. I would be doing it if I had the ability to do it. I would laugh at it. If I believed I was untouchable, I'd be like, oh yes, what corporation thinks they're really secure? Oh, look at that. Oh, who's that? Oh, that company there. Oh, look at this. Look at this, Derek. And don't say that you guys are called Derek or anything. I'm just improvising. Look at this, Derek. Oh, what is it, Jim? Oh, look. They're corrupt. Are they? Like us? Well, it's ambiguous on that one. Oh, okay, I won't go that far. But still, how? Oh, well, look. They're making AK-47s out of marshmallows. They're making AK-47s out of marshmallows, but they're a marshmallow company for kids. I know, but they are. Look. And they're selling them to North Korea. Do they think they're untouchable? I think they do. I mean, if you were making AK-47s out of marshmallows, you'd be untouchable, wouldn't you? Yeah, though, I have to admit, that's pretty impressive. In fact, that might even trump what we're doing. We can't have that. No, we can't. Take them down. Ah, ha, ha. No more marshmallow AK-47 guns for you. Yeah, we are Lizard Squad. We can do what we want. We have stopped the marshmallow guns. I think that would be quite fun, personally. I couldn't help but just think to myself, yeah, that would be interesting. So have a think about that, guys. Yeah, if you catch this. Right, anyway, I've been rambling now for God knows how long. Oh, God, nearly 40 minutes. That's actually kind of the ballpark I was thinking of, really. So I'll close it there. But yes, check out their video. Check it out and just listen to it. It's very interesting. And I think if you are concerned about Lizard Squad or have an interest in them, be it good or bad. I mean, I tried to take a neutral position, but, an objective one. But I have to be honest, I say even I'm, that implies that I'm special, which I'm not. But nobody can be 100% subjective. It's impossible. There's always bias in there, and I will admit there's bias in mine. But yeah, check it out. It's quite interesting, and you definitely do start to peel some of the layers of onion, to use a far really cliched metaphor there, but or analogy even, I should say. But yeah, it's interesting from both parties, not just from Lizard Squad, but from Rich as well. And all I can say is, Rich, I feel very sorry for what you've had to go through and the absolute ball rubbish that Lizard Squad have made you go through. It sucks, I know, and you have every right to respond to that in some way. But I think you're doing the right approach by being calm about it and just thinking, oh, damn, But I also liked Rich when he said, "Oh, I'm going to." Blizzard Squad actually was saying, well, if you stop making videos about us in a negative way, we might leave you alone. Whereas Rich said, no, I'm not going to I'm not going to stop making videos about you. If you do something that's worth my time and worth my note, I will talk about it because that's what I do. That's my skill. I make these videos to talk about things because that's what I do. That's what I'm good at. I will not have my opinion stopped by you, no matter what. But Lizard Squad then responded, well, you can't make these opinions thinking that there's going to be no repercussions for you, because there will be. There will be repercussions if you do that. Which I thought was a bit silly of Lizard Squad. I mean, if you generally believe that, then again, I know you're using your strength here, but at the same time, even Rich knows, and I know he knows, that whatever he says and does on his videos, and indeed me as well, I might add, and if you don't believe me, check some of my earlier commentary videos that I've done. I believe, and so does Rich, that whatever we say and do on the internet, or wherever we say, be it a speech, poem, whatever, out in the public on the internet, yeah, there might be repercussions after saying something. There might be repercussions after giving your opinion because, hello, it's human nature. It's human nature to have an opinion on something. It's human nature to want to give your opinion, and it's certainly human nature to think that if your opinion is valid, you will give it, and give it with damn conviction and strength and courage and back it with evidence and all that MacGuffin. But we're also human to react to that and respond to that with another opinion. Not from us personally, but from people that we've told our opinion at. And even I turn around and say, yeah, anybody who gives their opinion and doesn't expect a reaction is a bit silly, putting it politely. There is going to be a reaction. For the most part, it's a positive one. But you might get a negative one. And the severity of that negative one might be quite severe. Same with the positive one. You might get an overwhelmingly good positive response. Or you might get both. You might get a mixed opinion. Either way, you get a reaction. Some people might take it further than just leaving a comment or leaving their say. They might take physical action. Okay, again, you've got to expect it. We're human. We have thoughts, we have feelings, we have values. And we stick to them. Even if people say to you, oh, you're not thinking logically. Oh, you should care more about this. Oh, your attitude for not caring is irrational and silly and illogical. Who cares? It's your thoughts, it's your feelings, it's your identity. At least you have one. Everyone has one. And sometimes they'll be challenged, and sometimes you will react. It's a two-way street. That's the key thing. Any communication you do with people, two-way street. And I think a lot of people forget that. Even Lizard Squad. And Rich. And me. Anyway, 42 minutes, far too long. Can I say thank you very much, guys, for listening to this? If you have, God knows if you've made any sense of this. I'm extremely tired. I'm going to go to bed now and try not to drink the rest of this. What is it I've got? Relentless energy drink. I've had 6 cans of it today. I think if I'd have any more, either I'm going to have a heart attack, a caffeine overdose, sugar overdose, or a stroke, or all of the above. That would be interesting. At least then I'll be energized when I'm dying. There you go. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Have a good one. And I hope by the weekend I will have another video up of either Portal 2 or Opposing Force. I must get back to that. I haven't finished that yet. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Much love, and I hope to see you in the next video.